I got you.
You don't know what jargon.
You're fine.
He
All
started.
right. I thought I was about to start it over again. That thing's so touchy, man. Hey, welcome to CrappieKast Live, guys. As always, John Farmer's women. He's on location. He's out scouting, so Jessica won't be on here with us. And we got Chris Field and Jared Reiser down there from Lake Darbone. It looks like a painting behind them, guys. That is the actual lake right there in their backyards.
Yep, that's it. Low and everything.
Yeah, he was telling us, guys, before the show, you can see the little island. Tell us a little bit of background, what the lake conditions are right there at Darbone, and it's in Louisiana there.
Yeah, so right now, Darbone's not very deep, and every 4 years, every election year, they bring it down 4 feet or 5 feet, and that's where it's at right now. They got it down to 5 feet right now, and whenever it's like that, there's stumps absolutely everywhere.
I bet that. Do you see a lot of cover and stuff, Chris?
Oh man, you just wonder how you get around out there whenever it's down like this.
Now when you see it like this, you know you got to stay in those channel markers.
You dang right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet it. Go ahead.
So Shane, I guess we should kind of start with the big event that just happened for Chris and Jar. Tell us what y'all just got to do on your home lake, and I was so excited for y'all to get it, to see it unfold. This is your Crappie Masters national champions.
That's right, 2024 national champions right there.
Yep. Jar can talk about it a little bit.
Well, Crappie Masters, we've been close every time in Crappie Masters when they come to Darbone here, but we hadn't ever actually won one, the actual Crappie Masters on Darbone. So we knew we wanted it bad, and we coming into the tournament, we pre-fished hard for it, trying to find them, and ended up finding some fish, about half our fish, in places where we had never even fished before. In
our life,
really.
Our life.
Yeah. I mean, yes, it is an advantage to be on our home lake, no doubt. But I mean, we ended up finding fish that we've never fished in a tournament where we've never fished before.
Man.
Yeah, that's a disadvantage for a home lake, right? Yeah. You know where you want to go. You always remember you caught that fish, and we really made sure that we didn't do that.
That's good. That's a good strategy.
Going back further, y'all had won the ACT championship.
Yeah, that was the ACT national in 20.
Yeah, the 2021 championship, but it's held in March of 22. So we won at the end too.
Yeah, that was the ACT national championship. And,
two-time national champions on here. Yep. I love it.
Yeah, y'all won in 21 also, right?
Yeah, it's 21 national championship. That's right.
Yeah, I remember seeing that picture. I was trying to share the pictures, when I posted the, this is the 24, obviously, but I seen the 21. Y'all had some big plaques, and it was nice. I seen that, and I thought that was the right picture. That I zoomed in, it said 21. I said, oh, wrong one.
Yeah, and it was a 3-day event too, and it was they did the final weigh-in like they did on this Crappie Masters there, right on the courthouse square, like a drive-through weigh-in, and
it's nice.
That made it special. Yeah,
that probably tugged at the heartstrings a little bit, didn't it?
Oh yeah. See that many hometown crowd, there cheering you on and everything. That made it special.
I've got to say this though, y'all had it's never a comfortable barrier when you're in a tournament, but y'all had a little bit more comfort barrier winning this one than you did the first one.
Yeah, we won the first one by 1/100th of a pound.
Yes.
0.01.
I mean, they flop one more time. We may not have won that first one, you know.
Wow! So they recorded it, and hey, boom, you hit. Golly.
Yeah. I mean, once it locked in, you know. But that was a little bit tighter then, which we still. I mean, we thought it was going to be closer than it was this year. You know, coming in the final day, we didn't quite catch what we had the first 2 days. We thought it might be a little bit closer than it was, but it turned out it was rough on everybody. The fish got spooky, of course.
Oh, yeah. So what do y'all casted these fish long rod or a little bit of both? What were y'all doing without giving too much?
We do right in the middle of it. So we essentially cast to them, but we pitch to them. So
with a long rod.
We use a long rod.
Or 13 foot.
We're kind of literally in the mid. I honestly don't know if anybody else really kind of fishes that way a whole lot, because a lot of people fish with long rods. They got heavy weights, or they literally cast to them.
So you're flipping with no weight above it, just a regular jig and a what pound line are you doing this with, Chris?
6 pound line.
Okay, so you're actually fishing with a longer rod, basically.
Yeah.
Instead of a long rod, quote unquote, a big weight and a little jig. You're pitching a jig out there with a long. Okay.
So Shane, I've been on the boat with them to watch
them.
Talking
about the last show.
To watch them together is pretty cool. They're like synchronized. Like Chris, he'll pop in there. He's coming across. Jar's right behind him. They've got it timed out. So there's a bait being presented to a fish like one after another, and they're working like. I mean, it's probably a lot faster than somebody like two people casting, because they're perfectly one behind each other. I've been on the boat with them, so I've seen them do it, and it was very impressive.
That's cool. I don't know anybody that really. I've done that in some shallow water, Chris. In Demopolis, I've done it because I'm fishing 5, 6, 7 foot 99% of the time. I could see where that would be. We've even went down to 32nd and set it in there like that.
Yeah. And it'll. That's just the way we're used to. And honestly, I think it helps fish on Darbone bite, but it'll be at our disadvantage at times too, because we're so used to fishing like that. And whenever it's cold and they're deep, it's not a good way to do it. But there's very few times that we really have to do. And we've done it before. We floated them down. We call it floated them down there, 20, 30 foot deep. And
so you're walking that jig. Hey, you're walking that jig right down just to them and just,
Yeah.
So what length rod do you normally use doing that?
We use 13.5 foot war pigs is what we use. That's all we ever use. So.
I got you. So I got you. So you got spinning reels, bait casters?
Yep. Just spinning, because we want to have it in front of a fish at if he gets closer than 20 feet and we haven't put it in front of him yet, we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing.
I got you. So you're it's 6 pound. Is it fluorocarbon? What is it?
No, we just use regular old Strand Original.
I'll be damned. The old purple box. Look at that.
I can tell you, I've tried all the stuff from braid. We've tried all the stuff braid, all that. Man, it's just.
Hey, that Strand. Hey, old Bill Nance wasn't kidding. That stuff's stout now.
Yeah, it works.
I mean, that old purple box has been around forever.
Yep. That's what I'll buy. K&M, whenever they stop their fishing, I bought every one of them they had.
And you just took a strategy and a technique and just catered it to y'all, and that's pretty interesting. I remember you talking about last time y'all was on the show. I guess we didn't really go into detail, but that's pretty interesting there. And
really, how when Live Scope started, how I figured it out. Whenever I was I just had Live Scope. I like everybody else. There wasn't many videos out there. I couldn't make them bite, and it was tough. And it was Christmas. I had a week and a half off for Christmas. There weren't any ducks around, and I said, I'm gonna go make these fish bite somehow. That's how we made them bite, and really don't have. We've never really had like a hard time making fish bite on Darbone. A lot of people talk about how hard it'll be.
Right.
It's different, but we usually can make them bite.
That's interesting. Like I said, 13.5 footer. I got several rods. Like I said, I've done it just dipping trees, not really pitching, but. I can see how that.
I mean, it's what you get used to, and that's what we've always done, and we're used to it,
Yeah, you got the timing down, the swing. You know exactly how hard to pitch it. You got all that.
Yeah, once like John said, once he comes by the fish and that fish doesn't react, he's pulling it out and I'm going in behind him.
So what is your line? When you zone in there and you slow down and you pitching them at 20 feet, is that what you're doing?
We want to get in front of them 420.
Okay.
Between 20 and 30, we want to have it in front of them.
So is it mostly a 16th? Is that what you're mostly?
It all depends, really. Like
sometimes the bites get enough where we can do 8th, but
That'd
it's
be
just
nice, yeah. If they're really
how the fish reacts. If it's coming by them too fast and they, don't
depends how much headway they're coming. If they're just lighting it up or just.
Yeah. And we had to use an 8th a lot on the national championship because of the rain.
Right.
That light jig and all that water on those.
Sticking to the poles and everything.
And I'll start cussing and Jar will start being
mad. Hey, I'm with you, buddy. Hey, it is. John fished in the wind today, and it's just, you just got to go to the conditions because, sometimes it just ain't going to play out the way you want it to. So.
Yep.
And, you start.
Chris, going to something I heard you talk to me about. So before you had rear trolling motors and stuff, you and Jar, y'all go into a fish and y'all see the fish and y'all start tossing the fish and y'all address the fish. And then once you ran over it, you just go look for the next fish.
Yeah.
Talk about how that's changed, for you and the rear trolling motor and that sort of thing, how that's changed for y'all.
It's changed a lot, but we don't mess with the fish real long unless we know he's a big one and we need that one fish. We're always looking for new fish. If he makes a time or two that he doesn't want to bite, we'll move on. But now where it helps us a lot is where sometimes we used to put our back to the wind and we'd only have one chance at that fish. The ACT we won on the national championship here. We didn't have real trolling motors, and we literally had one chance each at best to catch that.
You better be accurate.
Yeah, we call it hitting them. You got to hit them. So, but now what it does now is gives us 2 or 3 times, to get in front of them.
That's
now, y'all fish and other people fish. Darbone, if you don't have a bite after 2 or 3 times of him seeing the bait, he's gone.
And it seemed like the first couple of years Live Scope came out, we could stay on them and chase them, and catch them. But it seemed, it feels like they've learned Live Scope where, you'd stay on them trying to chase them, but we can't. We just can't hardly get them to bite once they go to running.
Oh yeah, it's different.
We fished Millwood last year, and we could run around those. We could do circles around those fish. They wouldn't move.
That's great.
We could do all that, but on Darbone, you're not gonna do that.
Yeah, that's
I had somebody tell me that those Millwood fish, you could basically prop wash them and they just would sit there.
Yep. Truman did that too
a
couple of years when we were up there.
I've heard that some lakes in Louisiana is that way. In Texas, I've heard all kinds of stuff like that where you just out there just like dang clay pigeons, just sitting still.
Yeah. The first ones we started really going, and some of them we went off and fished. We were sitting there and we were like, they're not crappie. That's just
not actually doggone fish and said, there ain't no way they're gonna sit there, Until we finally caught one that was pretty good one, they were like, darn, I guess they are. We're just gonna run right on top of them,
I ran into a scenario, John knows about it here at the Alabama River a couple of weeks ago, and I got in the back of the slough and there's a bunch of spotted gar. I'm talking about, 2.5, 3 foot long. Hundreds of them. And I was like, and they're just busting up bait schools. You can hear them snapping, blip, blip, blip. And I looked down below some in a pole timber. I was like, looked like a couple dimes. I said, man, that looks like some big crappie. Hell, I flipped in there. A 180 whitefish, caught another one, 160. And I'm like, and they were literally sitting below those gar, getting those shad when they started busting them up.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It's like, what in the world? It just, I guess it depends on what's after the crappie. What kind of, there's so many scenarios that make them act certain ways. I don't know all the science behind it, but
it probably had to be a pretty big one to be out there. All the little ones.
Oh yeah. They were good fish. All of them were solid fish, but those gar were. I'm talking about. I told some buddies of mine at Bowfish, I said, you come here and shoot a truckload in a daylight.
Yeah.
They're still in there right now like that.
But
you just.
Hey, what's after them on Darbone is the fishermen.
Yeah. But the
They-
crazy part is, I mean, I've gone way up the lake where I know fish have not been fished hardly at all. They act the same way.
That's great.
Everybody thinks it's pressure. And it's just the way the fish act.
Just the temperament, just their temperament, right? Yeah, that's in most of this whitefish, right? Mostly.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we've weighed in all tournaments we've had on Darbone. I don't know we weighed a blackfish. You know, I know not this year. I don't think.
No.
You're not gonna catch. There is spots where you can catch some blacks and some, you know, but it seems like they're smaller. We hadn't caught, if any, you know, very few that would be whitefish. You know.
Yeah, I brung Neil up there, and he hadn't caught a lot of whitefish, and he really enjoyed how when they come, they're gonna go and eat it. You know, when they make up their mind, it's no playing around. It's, you know, he was like, man, them fish are aggressive. I said, well, they don't waste a lot of energy like a blackfish will. I mean, blackfish burn more calories. I don't know what they're thinking. I mean, the way they run and chase. I mean, it's just
I like catching them. I like eating them. I don't know. My black one I like eating better than a white, and they're just thicker. And
they are built a little different. You're right. I enjoy catching both of them.
But you can run up these creeks and you can catch them. You can catch them, but they're not. You know, a big one up there is pound and a quarter.
Yeah, it's just eating fish, right?
Yeah. You're not gonna catch 2 pound ones. I've never caught 2 pound. I think the biggest one I caught on this lake's like 190.
Well, to me, they fight a lot harder than mean.
They do.
Like spotting a largemouth to me, you know.
They remind me of a bluegill, kind of like a bluegill, a lot like a bluegill.
Oh yeah. They're I'm catching a lot of blackfish because I fish Florida a lot, and you know John's down that way right now. You know, you find them, but they do move on you. They're Houdinis now. Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
I kind of compare the black crappie and the white crappie to like spotted bass and largemouth. You know, they're similar in that way.
Yeah.
You know, the current will mess with them a lot. The black crappie a lot. You know, where you know your largemouth, you know, he's wanting to get out of it, and the white crappie is the same way. You know, he don't want to be sitting there fighting current. And with that black crappie, he'll tuck down behind a stump, you know, out of the current break and still be there. You'll slide something down on a black crappie in a current break behind a stump and be like, oh, I didn't even see you. You just you slide something down by a stump. And
they'll ease out. Johnny call it birthing a fish, and that's the God's honest truth. You'll throw on a stump and beat it a little bit and touch it, and here comes a dang 2 pounder. Where'd you come from? Like,
you know, we're not lucky like that. I don't have that surprise too much.
Y'all need to come down and enjoy it down there because it is. And in the fall, Chris, when you throw or pitch, they're looking up for the bait. I mean, literally, they're leaning back. They're looking for it. That's what you want. That's when it's on.
Most of them black.
Yeah, most of them blacks in Florida. You're dealing with. Heck, I don't know any white. You know any white lakes in Florida, John? I mean, I really don't.
No, not to my knowledge in Florida.
Really?
Yeah.
So y'all can come down and get some of that. And the style you fish, man. Hey, it'd be catered right to you because those schools are just hover and just be creeping.
Really?
And just Lord, just.
That's awesome.
You know, I never knew those fish done it till learning from John and Eric. I never knew they schooled like that. Especially like I went to the Alabama River and found some schoolers. You know.
Yeah.
Just but y'all need to come partake of that. It's definitely different.
I've never seen a school of, I've seen small fish school up a little bit, but they don't school like that on Darbone.
Hey, I sent Chris and Jar a picture of some fish this past week. He's like, not here.
Nope.
No, I've never
thick one right there.
Yeah.
I've never seen schools like that on Darbone. That's crazy.
Now, don't get me wrong. You'll get in some stumps. We got stumps there. You'll get in some stumps that just shine and see one on every stump.
Right.
Never schooled like
Chris, I went last January. It's 15 degrees here. This past January, excuse me. And I went to a stump, and there's 300 fish on it. And I ain't exaggerating. Like, we caught 100 in 2.5 hours on several stumps, but I got a picture of a school that's 35 foot long and 8 foot thick.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
And that's down there where John was. That's where John is now. I mean,
I probably wouldn't even know to fish them. I just go past them, thinking it's shad or something.
I know. Hey, and then what's crazy, you won't get them to bite, and you'll look to the right, and there'll be 4 little soldiers with their head down, and they'll knock the rod out of your hand. It's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's y'all need to come partake of that because it'd be different for y'all.
Yeah, for sure.
It'll ruin you. I'm going to lie to you, and it'll ruin you because.
Yeah, y'all get y'all a kitchen pass, and y'all let me know.
Yeah, y'all let us know.
It's pretty cheap to stay down here too. It don't
Oh
cost.
yeah, yeah. It's
good amenities. No, we don't need that.
Do what?
I said good amenities. You were talking about earlier. How good?
Oh yeah, hell yeah, that's wonderful.
he got a hot tub in there and everything in the room with him.
That's right.
Yeah.
It don't take much for us though.
I'm the same way, dude. I
tell you what, when I'm staying there, I can walk to go eat supper, so you can't beat that. That's pretty good.
That's for sure.
Y'all need to come down. We can hit both the lakes down there. We can hit both of them.
Yeah. We'll have to make a trip.
Where John fishes a lot and where I fish a lot, we can hit both of them.
It'll just get better as it gets colder through the year.
Yes, for me it will.
Well, what's pretty cool about where I'm at is you can catch them year round.
Really?
Yeah, they do bite.
Which is kind of odd for a black crappie lake.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll start really running in November, big time. I mean, that's when they get in gear.
Come on, right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now. I'll leave. And out in the morning.
Yeah, it's a good time.
It was blowing so hard today, and I was just trying to hit a bunch of different places, and they were bringing the smoke. I'm talking about. I had a good time.
They talking about how cold it is in Florida now. Patrick's saying it's cold. Ashley's saying it's cold down there wearing the Snuggie and the hoodies, and they don't know how to act when it gets in the 50s down there.
That's right. We ain't far from it. About 50s when we start getting cold. Well, you see, Jar got a sleeve on.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, man. I went hunting the other evening and didn't have a lot of clothes on, and the wind was blowing. I was like, hold on now, I got a little chill,
I like that. That's about where I want it to be.
Yeah.
Right.
When I go from flip flops to shoes, that's when it's cold. 38 degrees.
Yeah, John's got a certain tip. Them old piggies hanging out there get a little.
Yeah.
They get a little froze. You got to put them down.
But that's another thing we noticed talking about Darbone and the tournament is we got some cool days there and some fresh water. And them fish, you think about it, they're sitting in 80. It was about 85, 90 degrees. And those fish, once that water starts, they don't like that. They're no different from me and you. They don't like 80, 90 degree water.
No.
Or 80, 90 degree temperature. They want to be where it's cool. And as it cooled off, those fish actually came up, with that water temperature cooled off 5 or 6 degrees. So we caught our fish, or some fish come up, shower in the water column through the week as it kind of cooled down a little bit. The nights cooled down. It didn't cool down much. But,
right.
We noticed that.
Most of the fish on stumps, are they suspended or just kind of both or just?
Really on stumps. We caught on it's a day-to-day thing on the lake, but we caught most of all. I'd say that. We probably caught 3/4 of our fish on the stump.
Gotcha.
And probably the other ones suspended.
Gotcha. Certain kind of stumps or just regular, just ones with root balls or just random. While they're there, you don't know.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah,
They just stand in timber.
Gotcha.
Shane, it's like a forest. It's like you cut roads up through a forest.
I got you.
And then you went over to a certain area. That's the ski area. That's where they planted the corn at.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, it literally is. I mean, like whenever they flooded it, they just built the ski area, and then they just dammed it up and left the trees and flooded it. I mean, there's people talk about they couldn't see across the lake. I mean, it was solid trees all the way across. But and now they all broke off
right below the water.
Right below the water.
Yeah, some of them prop.
It's all dangerous now.
Some of them I just got through fishing Ross Burnett, and I'm telling you,
I like
riding a racetrack cutting through there. And then if you got off if you got inside one of them buoys, boom, I mean, you're gonna bump something.
Yeah, I feel we fish Ross Barnett's almost identical to Ross Barnett.
Gotcha.
Or it's like you say it, and I text some friends while they were down here, and that lake had done got a couple tenths low, and usually when everybody's here, it's a foot or 2 foot and a half high, and that gives you a little bit of chance, right? If you mess up a little bit, but I let them know. I was like, guys, there ain't no mess up now. Don't straighten out curves. Don't go from one buoy to the other. You better stay in the middle.
Right. It's literally boat lanes.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, it's a bayou, right? And you think of any bayou you've been on, the big cypress trees are right on the edge of it.
Right.
That's what's on the edge of this boat run is those big cypress trees that are dead.
Gotcha. Yeah, they hold some fish too on the edge of them.
Oh yeah.
They sure you'll run a stretch of those that'll hold some fish.
Oh yeah. We've like I said
Chris and Jar, y'all will if y'all come down here where I'm at right now, you'll run into some of y'all will feel at home. Yeah. You got to stay in the boat channels. You'll spray these. You'll do the same thing.
Yeah, and we did. I mean, we did on the Crappie Masters a couple of years ago. It was foggy till 3 o'clock in the day. Time to leave. Couldn't see from boat run to boat run, and we run it as much as anybody on there that was fishing that tournament. And actually, Nick Young, the guy that's probably on it more than us, was behind us. And we got out of the boat run, hit a stump. He shut it down. He was about to hit the same stump we did. He was just following us for seeing what happened. But yeah, we got out of it and hit one.
We got to load
Or floater unit, yeah.
Oh man, I'm guarantee you there's some out there.
Yeah.
Oh, State Farm knows that lake, don't they?
Yeah. They do for me for that one.
I mean, that gummit.
Yep.
So let's I guess get away a little bit from the tournament fishing and stuff, bumping around like that. So let's talk about like jigs and stuff y'all use. We talked about your line and your poles. What plastics and what hair jigs and that kind of stuff. What do y'all mess with? Y'all tie any of your stuff or
nope.
What y'all go with?
Everything. We got about 3 colors. And when I say we got 3 colors, I mean like if there's no other colors in my boat. Like, if we think they're biting something else, we're out of luck because they ain't there. That's the only jigs we got.
We ain't got plastics in the boat. We use hair jigs just because they last so long. I think I fished the whole tournament maybe with the same jig.
Yeah.
The national championship.
But yeah, they're mud hole. A guy over in Princeton, Louisiana, ties them. Like I said, you can't tear them up. We got a gray one. We got a gray, white, and chartreuse one, and gray, white, chartreuse, and red. And he's got them on his website. Not his website. Get him on Facebook. But
I've heard from fish down Louisiana like a lot of red. I've heard that.
Yeah. But that's all we use. And
which it's just got the red flicker.
Yeah.
It's just always got some red flicker.
Yeah, a little flake in it. Gotcha.
Yep.
But I mean, if you see our boat, it's gonna be one of them 3, and that's it.
That's it.
I used to fish with an old man through a white spinnerbait all the time. I'm like, man, you gonna change baits? He said, they gonna eat this white spinnerbait or starve, and I'm going home.
That's right.
He said, they gonna eat this or starve. I'm going home. Yes, sir.
But what's kind of neat about what y'all doing is y'all got gray, and then y'all got the gray and yellow, and y'all got the gray and red. So basically, you're going shad.
Yeah.
Shad with a little bit of color because of different time of the year, or shad bleeding.
Yep.
I mean, that's natural, and that's what they're eating all the time. So why not, right?
Keep it simple. Yeah, and a thing that I've always wondered, and y'all probably had people on here, you hear people all the time say, we were using plastic and they really wouldn't bite it, so I switched to a hair jig because they bite hair jigs better. Oh, they bite feather jig. We really use feather jigs. We call them hair jigs with the feather jig.
Right.
My thought always was to that. If they'll bite a feather jig or a hair jig when they won't bite a plastic, they gonna bite one whenever they will bite a plastic. So why don't I just use it all the time?
Well, to me, the hand ties, when you have to walk that bait down to that fish and it's slower, it lets you slow her down. When you're catching them, like we're talking about schooling fish, that plastic's king because you're trying to get to them and move. They're not being that picky. you know,
Yeah.
but in that scenario, like y'all walking that bait down to them, trying to get them to dress it and bite it. I mean, you take a hair jig, you know, hey,
Yeah.
you can do all that with it. So I see
Well,
that.
And a lot
And I
of
can go
it,
get some if y'all. I mean, if y'all want to show them, I get y'all go get them real quick.
Yeah,
I think I
heck
got 'em
yeah,
on
heck
the
yeah, go get some.
well,
I
And
mean,
we,
like the
John,
if
people.
we have to use minnows or everything or anything during, I mean, we'll get minnows for a tournament sometime, which we didn't even get none for the national championship. We didn't have a minnow on the boat all 3 days, but
That's good.
you know, we just always use a hair jig. You know, in my opinion, I think it's probably more than 90% of presentation to them. You know,
Oh yeah, I agree with you.
rather than bait or profile or something like that. You know.
Well, you got somebody that can really cast to them. You know, I always heard if they'll bite a minnow, they'll bite a jig. You know, that's just the way it is. You know.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah, so
and
I don't know if y'all can
but when people
see up
talk
here.
about plastics and hair jigs and stuff, is the price point. Like some people don't mind losing a plastic, and if they're having to buy the hair jig, you know, it can be expensive.
Okay,
But-
I see.
If y'all can see that. Very
Yeah, we
Oh,
can
well.
see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's it. If we catch a fish, it's on one of those.
That's awesome. Hey,
Yeah.
I mean, the hair jigs, yes, they cost more, but I mean, unless you hung up and break it off, you know, the thing will last so much longer.
Yeah.
But I can't remember the last time I've used a plastic, so they may make them better now, you know.
oh yeah, they
Well-
make a lot better plastic. Everybody's going to the saltwater grade. They last a long time. They
They're-
really.
Okay.
They
We're
step-
not losing the jigs that we were using back when we couldn't see. You know,
Yeah.
when we,
Yeah.
you know, our vision that we got now.
And that's another thing I like about about hair jigs. So if we miss a fish or like we're fishing, you've seen us, John, back and forth. We don't look at the jig. You're not very seldom you'll have a jig like wrap up or something, but we don't have to look and make sure that it's all the way up on our hook or anything like that. I never look at a jig, honestly.
Unless it starts unwinding or getting thin or whatever.
Well,
And I'll be honest with y'all, and y'all may correct me or agree with me, but when that jig soaks some of that fish's scent up, if you start
Yeah.
catching fish, I think you catch more fish because it smells like a fish.
yeah. Or you cook one deep and get some blood on it.
Yes, I agree.
I don't know if it does or not, but yeah, I thought about that.
Well, you fish with people that's pretty good, and you're catching them, and all of a sudden they're like, "Man, you're catching more fish than me." You're like, "Well, I'm
Yeah.
catching more fish because I'm catching more fish." You know, I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
you know.
I'm better. So this is another thing that I think's crazy that we do probably is more crazy than fishing fishing the way we fish. Is we're probably the only, I would say we're probably one of the only ones out there that fished that tournament and probably in the top 20 that we both fish. We both
Right? Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, you know, most time now it's always one fishing and one netting, and there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, it is.
No,
But I mean
He's my buddy, but I'm not gonna sit there and and take
you
his
ain't gonna
fish
sit there
off.
holding that and bird dog.
I got some redneck in me. I like to fish too, you know.
Yeah. I agree with you.
I get it too. So you know,
I mean, obviously he's a better fisherman, you know, obviously, but we do, you know, whenever he catches one, he's going to call him in the tag, and I'm running with my left foot on the trolling motor. That's the only way
Y'all are literally tag teaming these things. So
I just ran it the whole time like that.
But going back, y'all have been friends forever. Like, you
Yeah.
know,
Like
fish
T-ball.
together and friends.
T-ball, yeah, you're talking about
Forever.
Lord.
And that goes, you know, that goes a long way on being on the boat together. You know.
oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we know them, yeah, for sure. Fished together, hunted together, started really hunting,
yeah.
you know, probably college or no college. That's when we really started. He's kind of preppy. He went to a private school.
Yeah.
But I'm a public school graduate, you know,
Uh-huh.
and then
Yeah.
once we got in college,
Y'all
we
don't
went
let it
to-
get you like. Y'all
Well,
don't.
I mean, I can't argue with it too much, but I might have been I was the biggest redneck at the preppy school, you know.
yeah. But yeah, then we went to college together, and then
Yeah, college is where we really started hunting and started fishing together.
Okay.
Who was the better baseball player?
He went to college in baseball. It wasn't me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So y'all went to college there in Louisiana?
Yeah, Louisiana Tech.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, I've heard of that. Oh yeah, for sure. That's good. Hey, that makes a great story, and you fish together so long, you know what one person's doing. When they set the hook, get the net, he's going back there, to take over. I mean, y'all got a system down. Obviously, you would be national champions.
Yeah, like I said, that's something that, and like I said, I'm surprised a lot of people don't really fish like that. I guess they used to, and they kind of just went away from it, and everybody's one person fishing now.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people, sometimes it's luck too. Now, don't get me wrong. Somebody might have the hot hand. You're like, hey man, let's go.
Yeah. I can guarantee you, there's days that I've caught all 5 fish, but there's times that he's caught all 5 fish too.
Exactly.
And it's weird, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it might be for an hour. I don't catch a fish, and he catches all of them. I mean, we've seen it where, like I said, we just presented a little bit different, I guess. We've seen it where he does exactly what I do, and I do exactly what he does. But I catch more fish than he does, or he catches more fish than I do.
That's exactly right.
Hey, I mean, I fish with Jessica the majority of the time, but it's like sometimes she's more on, or I'm more on. Like she's better, or she's more tuned in to where it's hitting or something, and it just blow my mind. And like, hey, we were down fishing a little kiss tournament one the summer before last, and normally I cast first, and I was like, look, it's obvious you're doing something way better than I'm doing. So
yeah, let's go.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she was smoking them. I mean, there's no other way around it. She was smoking them, and you just got to know when your partner's got it going on, and go with it.
Yeah.
To me, that makes it fun when you're both fishing. I mean, it's a serious situation. Don't get me wrong, serious tournament, but if you can't fish with your buddy, that ain't fun to me.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, we kind of turned it into a little bit of work there for a while and burn us out.
Yeah.
And this year's prime example, we made sure that we weren't going to burn ourselves out on doing it. And we had this, I probably didn't fish more than just go to catch 4 or 5 deep for dinner, probably 6 or 8 weeks before the week before the national championship started, just because, and we treated it like a job.
That's just trying to get your reps in to make sure I get it.
We treated it like a job there. Starting on that Saturday, I woke up every morning, had coffee here with the wife, and went fishing. Come back, ate lunch, and went fishing. And we really wanted to catch that, which is lucky. That's the good part about living on a lake. I could literally do that. And but yeah, we didn't. And honestly, it was the most. I don't know about him, but it was the most not relaxing. I'd say not. I never got like nervous during the tournament. I never.
Y'all just fished. That's good.
Yeah, we weren't gonna.
I mean, what it took to win it is what we thought exactly it would take. To win it.
We did better. So we thought a 9 pounds and 2 8.5s would win the tournament, which we had 2 9 pounds and right at a.
I think it was 840.
840 something. So we had right at it, and we won by like what 8 tenths or something like that. So yeah, we never really got.
Yeah, that's on 5 fish. So that's good, solid fish. I mean, Lord.
Yeah. But it was a good time, and like I said, never really got nervous. It was probably because I was so worried about the rain. It rained and rained.
I know. I heard some stories.
Yeah. First 2 days rained all day.
And the wind blew on y'all hard too.
Oh,
yeah. The wind the first day was up a little bit. It was worse the second day, which the third day it didn't rain, but the wind was worse.
Like 20 miles an hour.
Yeah, it switched a little bit more out of the north than what we were wanting. We weren't as blocked as we were wanting to be that third day, but was able to still get enough.
On Darbone, y'all both can answer this separately. What is y'all's personal biggest fish, and how'd you catch it on Darbone? I mean,
that's a good question.
My personal is, now we're talking about handheld scales.
Yeah.
So, because we caught I think we weighed a 247 that didn't weigh 247 on our scale. My biggest fish on Darbone was probably about just right at 270.
Mm.
I caught him during the tournament, and he was probably 18 foot of water sitting at the base of a stump
Mm.
in February. Yep. And Jar saw him. Jar told me about him. He's like, look at that fish. I said, yep.
Glad you remember. I don't remember.
I caught him. I actually caught him. I tell you, it don't matter. Everybody knows we fish. I caught him out here right in front of our house. Out right in front of my house.
Okay.
Yep.
My biggest was I was pre-fishing for Crappie Masters. It was a 260 in like a little horseshoe slough, and that was my biggest weight that day I've ever put together by myself too. But it was like it was a 260 on the handheld, and as I caught him and put him back and started idling out, here comes Matthew Rogers coming in. I said, "Golly!" I said, "Oh man!"
Yeah.
But we didn't end up even. The place where I caught him is just sometimes it'll have some fish, but then like then we caught them, went back in and fished for the turn a little bit, and there wasn't nothing there. It hit or miss bad, you know.
But yeah, that's but like I said, those type fish, everybody talks about. You talk about tournament scales; those fish are on a tournament scale are low threes, easy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because on our, like I said, we had a 247, and on our scales it was 192, 193. There, those big fish just take big jumps for some reason on those scales. I don't know why, but they do.
Well, it's even across the board. So
Yeah. No, it's nothing. Everybody knows if you fish them. Yeah, everybody knows that. And be honest with you, it's how you hold your scales when you weigh them and everything else.
I guess since you're running a 13.5 foot rod, a spinning reel, 6 pound strand, you're netting a lot of these fish, right? I'm sure.
Yeah.
And during the tournaments, yes, we know.
Yeah. Y'all got what kind of net you running? What kind of net you running, y'all?
Just one of the old ego nets.
I got you.
Yeah.
We lost our other or something.
Other one broke.
Yeah, the other one broke, so we just been using the ego.
I got you.
What's a good one? I do need a good one. What are y'all running?
I got an outlaw net, and I like it. Isn't that what you got too, John? It's hard to beat that outlaw. It's a monster. It'll stand out to 12 foot.
Yeah.
Is it pretty light?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, for me personally, what I like about the outlaw net is you can have like the extended net format, or you can buy the short handle for it, and you can do either or. So like Jessica and I casting, that long net not necessarily for us. So we can use that shorter handle, the same net. You can just interchange the net with the handle.
Yeah.
But
I've got one, it stands out to 12 foot. And since I long rod some, and I got some of these customers that tend to want to pull the fish in, I'd go ahead and get them before they come unbuttoned. But I've had to replace the net after a couple of years, but that outlaw's hard to beat.
We're due one. Like I said, I tore one up back, I don't know.
And it was a lighter net. I don't even remember what kind it was.
I remember that ego because I remember fishing with Eric, and it's kind of floppy. It was a great light net.
Yeah.
I remember using one of those, but that outlaw's hard to beat, man.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I always tell everybody about getting a net is getting that rubber net. So when your hook gets in it. Oh
gosh, yeah, amen.
Yeah.
Amen. You don't want to be you don't want fish to be thumping. You're sitting there going, "Come on, man."
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Get it out of there.
Yeah, we'll have to look. I'll have to get one. Like I said, we're due one.
Yeah, they're not bad. I think they're 110, 100 and
yeah.
How much was that net? I just bought one because I tend to donate some. I've donated one to the lake.
Yeah.
And then I have some coolers on the side of my boat, and I always run my net laying on this side. I was hauling butt back from Florida and set it on that cooler side, and it just funneled some air and blew that one out somewhere. So
hey, I'm gonna try to make a phone call or two and see if I can get the national champions a net.
Amen.
There's got to be some perks to being the champions. I mean,
that's 100% true. Yeah, come on. Yeah, exactly.
I like it.
Yeah, because I mean, I know he knows who owns that company, and heck, I don't know why he wouldn't.
Yep. But we pulled the other one out of the shed, so out of the barn, so we don't keep up with it too much. We're so, and John, John will tell you more. He, like I said, he fished with us for 8 hours. One thing we do is we have fun and we don't take it too serious.
No. I mean, if it's from setting the piece of sausage down on the deck of the boat and eating it after it, or and Jar making the sausage and bringing it for Chris.
Well, that's why we won the national championship. I've been slacking kind of for the few tournaments we had early in the year. I hadn't cooked no sausage, but I got up and cooked the sausage for the national championship.
Well, day one, we were out there. I was like, you need to cook sausage for tomorrow. When I tell you, he hadn't made any this year. Any.
He been slacking.
He was about to fire him, wasn't you, Chris?
I was. That's what I told him. I said, you got to get some sausage in here or something.
We gotta give Jameson a shout out before I forget, because he gets on my ass every time I forget to do it. One of our buddies, Jameson's running trips on Lake Tuscaloosa right here. He'll text me if I forget, and I'll try to remember. I wrote it down. You want to go to Lake Tuscaloosa and catch some slabs? He's been catching a lot you see on his Facebook page. He caught some big ones this week too, didn't he, John?
He did. He's in the top 5 on Lake Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, give him a call. He'll take you right to Nick Saban's dock right there. Give old Jameson a call, guy.
Hey, in all actuality, that's the truth. He can't take you right to Nick Saban's dock.
Really?
Yeah.
But I know Chris and Jar. I remember we talked about this off subject, but college football. Where do y'all stand in that?
Talking about.
I think they got a better chance to beat Alabama than whenever Saban was coach. I'm just gonna probably.
No, I'm saying, who is y'all's team? Like
LSU.
Oh, no.
LSU. You remember
who did they play this past weekend?
Ole
Miss. That's who it was. That's right.
They brought it. Hey, the family won.
Man, it was.
Who knows how they're gonna show up in there?
Hey, any of them, they about like a crappie. You don't even know when they exactly.
Yeah, I mean, look at Vanderbilt. Those guys showed up.
Yeah, they was tuned up for Alabama.
You had to post that, didn't you?
Yeah. He had to go there. No, I had to get a little jab in there. We love it. But you got to take the wins with the losses, and I'm afraid Alabama. I hope we don't go back to Shula years, but goodness gracious, it's kind of rough right now.
Yeah, well, that's the problem with y'all. That's rough. Whenever you lose one game, you go way back, you'll see rough.
Yeah. Bill Curry, hey, Mike Shula, Bill Curry.
Nick Saban got beat by ULM the first year he was there.
I remember that.
So the first time I ever went to Darbone, we stayed over on Washita on a floating house.
Yeah.
And we went in over to Monroe to eat supper. Jessica and I did. And there was a football up above the bar there. And it had the Alabama Louisiana Monroe score on it, and it was signed by somebody from the team, whatever. I was like, these son of a guns are still celebrating.
Oh, they still here. They finally having a good year this year, but before that, that was their biggest high point for like 20 years, probably.
And but that was a great experience. Us going over there, man. I love Darbone, and
y'all have to come over this way.
Yeah, we will. We need to. Hey, when are they supposed to bring it back up?
Starting November, I think.
Yeah, November 15th, they'll close the gates, and all it takes, this lake right here, one rain, and it's up.
Good.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get that rain pretty soon.
Yeah, like you said before the show, I mean, everybody's got grass and seed in the ground for deer season. I mean, you want some rain. I mean, but it does it every year. I mean, you write it down. It's you got no burns policies going in. Besides in Florida where they got soaked, from the hurricane.
Yeah, the east side of the country's doing pretty good with rain, but they ain't doing pretty good with anything else.
Oh no, man!
It's terrible.
I'm still seeing stuff from that, where it flooded North Carolina. It's crazy. Like,
John, it went up that way close to where you're at, huh?
No, it was way east of us.
Yeah, it went over in Lake City and Live Oak, it went way on over there.
Oh, okay. You talking about where I'm currently at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So where I'm at right now, they got a little bit of the winds off of it. The first one did, but nothing. I mean, like I've seen no damage.
Yeah.
These lakes haven't been affected.
Yeah.
It was more south and more east of the two were. So yeah, if anybody wants to come down here fishing, it's great.
Yeah. But yeah, Darbone, like I said, they moved actually the Crappie Masters off of February this year, which is the first time since like 2017. It's in March sometime.
It's the end of March.
But
they moved it after Grenada for 2025.
Without that pressure, that's the time of year to fish Darbone. I mean, you can go, we caught pushing 16 and a half pounds on 7 fish 2 years ago. I mean, 2 pound fish are not rare.
Is that what month is that, Chris?
February.
February, okay.
February. But yeah, I mean, we've caught, like y'all were talking about us fishing together, and something happened during that Crappie Master. Jar was unhooking like a 195, and I was screaming at him to come to the front of the boat to net mine, and it was like a 235. So I mean, off the same trees. I mean, it's their 2+ pound fish are a lot of them on it during February.
Okay. Well, hey, that lets everybody know. If you want to go Darbone, it sounds like February is it. Huh?
Yep. And like I said, usually people don't really want to come because there's anywhere from 75 to 100 boats about the time it's good, the end of February. But they moved Crappie Masters off of it so that you won't have that pressure to deal with.
There you go. That's a good tip for everybody. It's going to be after Grenada, you said. So it'll be.
Yep.
It's the end of March this year.
Okay, cool. Okay. Will they be through spawning there? Some spawning going on, or
there will be some going on, I think.
Yeah,
I mean,
they'll be. Y'all know how fish get hard to catch when they're actually spawning.
Oh yeah.
It might not be hard to catch, but there's hard to catch like concentrations of big fish. That's when Crappie Masters will be.
But Shane, some of those fish will spawn actually out in that timber.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We've had some right off the channel, just on stumps,
Yeah, 3-4 foot deep. Just give it.
The water's warm enough up at on those trees that they just spawn. Shane, I don't know how to explain it to you like it's an actual forest.
I'll send you a picture of it tomorrow.
It's like
is the watercolor good that time of year? I guess in February it got good color to it, I guess.
It'll get depends. It'll get muddy.
Depends on how much rain we've got. And,
it'll get muddy. It won't get Grenada muddy.
Yeah, I got you. It won't ever get chalky. It just gets color to it.
Yeah, and it depends on which arm. The corny arm it's clear. Really, the more rain you get, the clearer it gets at times.
It springs and stuff.
Yeah. Then they got the Darbone arm. I don't know what the difference is. I guess just whatever the soil is, wherever it's coming out of, it'll turn chocolate milk. See them combined right in the middle.
Have you noticed it's like more farming on one of the arms, and
it's all about the same up that way, huh? I guess one of them's coming out of Arkansas, one of them staying in Louisiana.
It's probably farming about the same on both of the arms. Really.
Okay.
Because we don't have that part. That's part west of us. We don't have any.
It's not any row crops.
We don't have any row crops for a long ways.
Timber and it'll be pasture, cow pastures.
Yeah. So with us, like when it gets rockier, that's what changes our clarity. Like the more rock you get into with less topsoil on the rock. So like the further south in Alabama, it gets sandier, and you get down to Florida, it's really sandy, and you got more rock and stuff, and that changes the clarity, makes it be tannic and stuff like that.
It's got to be something like it. That's what it's got to be.
Oh my God, Byron Wise just scared the shit out of me.
Byron, come in there.
Yeah, he come up on the window right here behind where I'm staying.
I thought Richard done run around there on you.
No, John.
Oh man, we'll have to get Richard over to tell that story. I think it might be entertaining with that. Hey John, Destin wants to know, is it more of a forest there than it is at the Reds?
Whoa,
we got wood.
Oh, it's
Oh,
way, way.
they're about the same.
No,
They're about the same.
I'm talking about the entire lake is like forest.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing that's cut out at Darbone is the ski area and the
That's
boat
right.
lake.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The res. I mean, you got a place you could run around and stuff. And Darbone she's a nasty girl.
Yeah. Yeah, she is that. But yeah, that part, I don't remember what's the highway runs east-west on the north side of the res. Y'all talking about Ross Barnett here, huh?
Yeah, Ross Barnett. I don't
Yeah.
remember the name
Anyway,
of the highway.
just that first probably 8 to 10 miles south of that highway, that's where Darbone is. That gives you an idea. That's where Darbone is.
Yeah. When you start getting up into furry stuff, like when you start seeing all that timber and stuff, and you can't do anything but stay in the boat lanes on the res, that's the way Darbone is, like the entire lake, really, other than the ski area. And
Chris was saying, if you can later on after the show, whatever, post a picture on here. You can get it back on there and put a comment and a picture of those pigs or a link or something.
Yeah,
I'll share it.
I'll get you guys' Facebook.
What's that? Hey, man, you come up. I thought it was a leprechaun or something.
But yeah, I'll get the Facebook and they're called Gray Ghost. The two of them are the main ones are Gray Ghost and Cajun Shiner. But yeah, I'll post it in there.
Yeah, just like so you can go in here in the comments or just send it to me or whatever you want to do, and I'll post it on here for everybody.
I'll do it.
They'll go back and watch this. A lot of people watch the show later on tonight, tomorrow. I mean, there'll be people watching for a week. So.
Well, everybody in Louisiana is watching the Saints game right now. So.
Saints are great again.
No, it ain't much. They started out hot, but it's going down quick. I think half the team's on the injury report.
Hey, y'all could have paid one specific quarterback a pile of money and him just. Oh my gosh, y'all! I feel sorry for Cowboy fans.
Oh my God, man!
Yeah,
he's from right up the road. He's about an hour and a half from
Darbone.
Hour and a half.
Oh my God! They got blasted last week.
They're cursed. They're like the Atlanta Braves, man. They're just cursed. You know what I mean? I just
don't know where people say they're America's team.
Gary Jones says it.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey, he's making bank off of saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a public stunt. I promise you that publicity stunt to help him get paid because there's so many random jokes about the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
I got to take up for my buddy Ryan Klesko. Go Braves.
There you go.
I used to watch him when he was at the Braves.
I did too.
Yeah. I saw you was fishing with him back last year or earlier in this year sometime.
He's a cool cat.
Yeah, he's a good.
They were America's team.
Yeah.
It's probably still are. If you
yeah, man. There's a lot of people watch the Braves. You know, a lot of older people still keep up with them, buddy.
Yeah.
It's about it when we're growing up. It was either them or the Cubs on WGN, you know, or the Braves on CBS, you know.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right, man. I mean, I appreciate y'all being on here. This hour flies by. We all get together and go fishing, either down there or down where John is, or where y'all are, or wherever.
We'll do both. How about that?
You got to make jar cooked sausage though.
That's what it takes to make them bite. Jar's got to make the sausage cook.
I just caught some more hogs. Got a new batch made.
Jar, you was talking about that stuff, but my mama's mama, we call her Big Mama. Dale Earnhardt and the Braves. That was the thing. She had them on now.
Yeah.
You know, people just don't watch that stuff like they used to, you know.
Well, I don't see how they pay people so much money, you know, especially on baseball, because the turnout's so small compared to what it used to be. And
I don't know either. I don't know where all that revenue comes from. I really don't. Yep. It's way over my head. I promise you that.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it was good to talk to y'all. And
man, y'all. Hey, appreciate the 2024 Crappie Masters National Champions. Hey, Chris Field and Jared Reiser. Y'all got tips from them, how they fish, what they fish with, where they fish. I mean, you know.
Yep. And we don't
Hey,
fight or anything
has
like that. If y'all got any questions about Darbone or what's going on, just let us know and we'll.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's going to some people going to go down there. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
Has that sunk in good with y'all yet? The saying y'all the national champions again, or is it still got the good ring to it?
Yeah, it's still got the
yeah.
good ring.
Yeah,
Still got the good ring. It was.
we're still catching heck from some people. I guess luckily being in your hometown, they put us up on a billboard and still catching heck people for that billboard.
Yeah.
That can still happen. I need to talk to the chamber about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We bring y'all in and we'll put y'all on there. That's how small farm we is. It ain't hard to get there. We can get you there, I bet.
They got them some digital billboards that'll change. I said, y'all put us up there, we might break it.
I'm gonna get some flex photos of y'all and the man gear and y'all holding the trophies. We could digitally alter it and looking good.
I like it. I like it. Let's do it.
There you go. Well, y'all be sure to hang out after I cut this thing off, Chris. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I thank Chris and Jared and John as always. John's gonna be fishing this weekend. I'm gonna fish. Hopefully, we'll be able to share some stories. And but hey, this thing is recorded. You can go back and watch it. That's a good thing about it. It's on YouTube and Facebook. It's on here from now on. So, y'all got any questions or anything if you was wondering what kind of tips and all they shared? Appreciate y'all for being on here. We'll be back live again. We're gonna have them back on here because we have a good time. So appreciate everybody tuning in to CrappieKast Live. We'll be back next Thursday, 7 o'clock live. Thank you, Chris and Jared. We'll see y'all next time, guys.
Appreciate it.